Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. In 1942, in the cold desert of a small border town in Texas, a group of kind are kidnapped and mass embraced by members of the fanatical sect, the Sabbat. Out of this group, only a handful survived, and through rituals and mentorship they became the pack known as the Pale Riders. Representing the Sword of Cain, they are wielded by a mentor to cut deep wounds within the heartland of Mexico to the enemies of the Sabbat. Juarez on Fire is a Vampire the Masquerade Sabbat chronicle that follows the Pale Riders pack that consists of Mitch, a Lazombra played by Adam, Coyote, a Ravenous anti-tribute played by Alex, Eldrick, a Caitiff played by David, Jasper, a Bruja anti-tribute played by Joaquin, Cora, a Shemizi played by Slavic, and Richard, a Ventru anti-tribute played by Tillman. If you'd like to contact us, you can find us on Twitter at twin_cities_VTM or on Facebook at Twin Cities by Night. We hope you enjoy. Currently, right now, we're going to catch up to Jasper to the rest of the group. So let's go ahead and jump into this here. So Jasper, what had happened is after you had frenzied, Coyote came down and told you that Illinipi had wanted to speak to you. Just as a reminder, you had just ripped one of the men's heads off who you and Cora had kidnapped after you had him tied to the tree, like how Vidar had the victims of the Valdry tied up. Mm-hmm. And so you had pretty much had ripped his head off and had you were drenched in blood completely, almost like from mid waist up, just covered in just pure crimson. Described to the group how almost like when you open your eyes, the white of your eyes was like the only thing in your teeth or even your teeth had maroon in there, but were the only thing that weren't touched by the blood. You got to pay the piper, Mr. Jasper. So if I could get a conscious roll, difficulty 8, please.
All right, 9 to 10.
You feel after you did that, oh wow, 2 successes. As you're walking off, after Coyote tells you that Illinipi wants to go talk to you, you're slowly walking with the gravel under your shoes and the dust kicking up a little bit. And you're watching the blood drip as you're looking down. You're watching the blood drip off your nose and splatter on the ground and drip off from your hands, and you get you almost get gut punched for a second with guilt a little bit with what you did, because you realize that what had just happened wasn't part of your whole eugenics worldview plan. What happened almost you feel was you know what I mean? And while you are losing humanity, this was uncharacteristic of you to take a random white male, you know what I mean, and treat him in that way. What's going on in your mind? I mean, when that occurs.
I've been too drunk on my newfound power. I must hold myself to higher standards. That is why I was chosen, after all. That we are elevated to be greater than we were before. I cannot allow myself to sink so low again.
And you're feeling that as you walk into the hotel, and you're walking up these steps, and you still hear the drip of the blood hitting the wood. You know what I mean? As it slowly starts to coagulate on your hands, as you're grabbing the banister, you see your hand leaves a print. And a print, you know what I mean, as you go up until the 3rd floor where Illinipi was staying and where Coyote brought Illinipi into. And you go up to the door, and the door is open, and you hear, before you even see Illinipi, you hear him "Come in here, young one." And as you come in, you see him sitting up on this couch that had a sheet that was thrown over it, to keep the dust off. You see 2 bodies that are tied up. They're not dead. They're just these. One is one of the men that you kidnapped, and the other is a man that Coyote actually kidnapped on his own. And you see Illinipi sitting up, to describe again, one of his arms was ripped off. He looks he has this rancid smell that seems to be coming from him of spoiled meat. Looks pretty beat up. He looks at you and he says, "You're going to spend some time here with me while the others travel, but you will catch up with them."
Yes, I must have time to convalesce, I suppose, as Jasper rubs at the wound on his chest.
Yes, your pack worries about you, Jasper. They were worried about your fortitude and your health after the confrontation that you had.
Yes.
But not only physically, it seems to be mentally. It seems like quite a couple members of your brood seem to be having a hard time evolving into what you have the potential to become.
Yes, I came to a conclusion myself just a moment ago. It's easy to lose oneself and in all of it that we have gained since our change. It's
Well,
intoxicating at times.
it is. You have to look at the beast like a companion. It is not something to fear. But I saw what you did down there. While I can understand what you did to embrace the beast more, to become one with the beast, and not to lose the last grips of what you once were and let it bring you down with it. And you see him slowly, he gets up and he starts he motions over not motions, he walks towards that faces out in the courtyard and faces out to the fountain that was out there, and he leans against it. He turns and looks at you. He doesn't expect you to stand or anything, and he says, I've seen many strong members of this sort of cane who at times lost themselves because they simply could not let go of what they used to be. I am not telling you this because I feel that you are, and I hope you don't take it that way, but I feel that your pack needs mentorship of a sort. And as my duty, mentor and a brother to you all, he looks out the window and he's looking at, you can hear the car starting and you can hear he's looking out and you hear two vehicles take off. Tell me about yourself before you're brought over. You wouldn't have talked to a man like me, would you have?
There
Before
weren't
that,
many men quite like you back east. They had all been pushed out west by the time I was a child. Back then it was just Europeans of different stock and breed all around. It was strange, honestly. Just looking back now, it was so strange to see how people just they were all the same. They were all mixing together. Didn't they see the chaos that would involve? Didn't they see that by staying true to who they were, they can keep their family stronger over time. I
I had many of my kind who felt that way when I was mortal, who felt that we shouldn't work or trust the white man, or trust even other tribes that reside in the same land. Jasper, do not besmudge yourself in the filth that is our food, that is our cattle, that is below us. Do you understand? You are elevated now. Take that passion, take that belief, for I cannot change who you are, but take that belief and elevate that belief too. Take into our cause and to fighting the slaves of the antediluvians and their control in this world, finding where they lurk in the shadows and they pull their strings like the cowards they are, hoping to help them awaken so they can feed off us, not realizing that the very people they serve are going to consume their souls too. Do you understand?
I understand.
Good. And he turns around, he looks out the window. This is what's going to happen. You're going to contemplate on your own and you are going to heal. Assume that you are fed enough, if not the emotions you can have one of these two. But I have something planned for both of them, or at least one.
I am good for the night. If I need any more, I will. Thank you.
Sit them up and awaken them for me if you would. And he motions to the two.
All right. So Jasper goes over to them and says, "Wake up! We have your audience is requested."
And you see both these figures are kind of shaking. You can tell one's the one who you kidnapped. He's barely holding on to his sanity with with the weakest of strings, and you can see that the other one is just at the point where he's probably concussed. Assume that Coyote probably bashed him a couple times across the head to get him in a state to be easily carried. He motions for you to bring him forth to him. He's like, bring him forth to me. Sit him down on his knees before me.
I do so.
See this figure, he I had to explain again, he's this real kind of scrawny 60-year-old guy. He where normally if it was a normal in modern day he'd probably be obese, but due to the war, the great war that's going on, and not there being a lot of food and supplies for people who are left back in the States, he's rather skinny and kind of has a yellowish almost tinge to his skin, like he's almost jaundiced in a way. And you see Illinipi, as you set the guy down on his knees and you step back, Illinipi with his hand grabs some of the guy's greasy, grayish, dark hair that hasn't fallen already out of his head, and almost brings his head forth for a foot, and then he a snake sneaks his face up into his, and it's almost like he's holding the guy's face and he's looking at him from a side angle. He turns the guy's face with his one hand because he only has one hand, and you see as the guy's like his eyes are about to roll in the back of his head, he looks panicked, and as he's like face is turned to look at Illinipi's, you feel like this tension almost in the air. Like it's almost like it's crazy too, because if the blood wasn't already coated over your arms, you'd say almost like your arm hair would rise up a little bit, like your skin would get goose fleshed. And you see that the guy's eyes go from panicked and almost rolling up to like the pupils become dilated completely, almost as like if he's like under the influence of some type of drug or opiate, you know what I mean? And you see as Illinipi is staring at him, and there's like this odd like 2 minutes where nothing's said, and you can see the guys breathing, and at this point they're close, almost like they were lovers about to kiss, but there's nothing like that in the way that they are right now. And slowly you hear Illinipi go, "Serve the one who is standing over there. To sleep you will drive. And when he drives, you will sleep, unless he tells you not to. You will do what he says. Every evening when he wakes up, when it is about time for him to wake up, you will stand by the trunk and open it and wait for him. You will forget everything that has happened to you. You are no one. You did not exist before this. Do you understand me?" And you see the guy slowly lift his head. "Your life before did not exist because you are nothing. You are nothing but purpose and his motivations. Do you understand me?" Like lift his head. "What are you?" And you see the voice slowly, like his lips part, and you see like spittle like kind of like be connected a little bit, and you see for a second it's like he's trying to formulate a word, and he says, "Nothing. Yes, you are nothing. Now go do what you are supposed to do." And you see like the figure gets up and he steps and he like steps towards you, and he just stands there dumbly, almost like he is of like the old zombies before zombies were George Romero, and like he's hypnotized in a dazed state. And Illinipi looks at you. He's like, "When you are ready to travel, should be in a few hours, you hit the road and you follow the path that your group set to follow, and I am sure you will catch to them. I've spoken to," and he looks and he's like, "Describe the vehicles to this one that they took, so he knows to keep an eye open when they're on the road. I wish you luck, Jasper, and I am sure one day we will see each other when you help your pack free." And he kind of sees for a second, he chokes up a second. He's like, "Free our mentor, our mutual mentor."
I will do so. And I thank you for the gift you've given me, Illinipi. I thank you.
And he nods and he's like, "Go, sort of Kane." And he like sits back and he like closes his eyes as if he has to rest. Basically, Illinipi was telling this guy like his purpose is either to drive or to do whatever. You know what I mean? Kind of looks at you. He
doesn't even have to spend any blood.
Yeah. Well, temporarily. Yeah. He's what do they call that? Conditioned. He looks at you like he's awaiting something to be said.
All right. Well, my friend, you don't die this night, and if you prove useful, might not be for several nights in the future. So I will rest first, but then we shall depart. You will find the others they have this truck and this large van that the two trucks really when they were covered to protect us from the day. You will protect me during the day. Do you understand?
AC slowly looks at you like it takes like there's like a 10-second 10-second lag from what you said, and then he like shakes his head slowly up and down as drool a little bit kind of like starts to like go down his chin.
And if anyone asks you, just say you are taking this car to its owner across the country.
I am taking this car to its owner across the country.
Good man. Good man.
It's just like you say that for a second, you smile and you look at him, and he's still blankly like staring at you. Like, are you gonna rest for a couple hours? So what do you want to do when you rest? You want to try? You want because you have how many aggravated do you have now? You have like 2 aggravated, right?
Yeah, I had 2. I think I have full right now. So I think it's spend 5 to heal 1 thing of aggravated.
Nice. So you can heal 1 and then hit the road if you want to. I'll let you.
That's what I want to do. Yeah.
Okay. We can say that you did that in 3 hours. You can hit the road and you should be able to drive because they left like at midnight if you want to do that. And then you could drive and then switch out at one point.
Yeah, I want to do that.
So you're driving the Rolls Royce. They left a classy vehicle for a classy East Coast scholarly gentleman like you to drive. Of course, it's faster, so they probably had a tactical reason for doing that. And I think that's what their reasoning was. They were going to leave the fast car behind for you to catch up. like as soon as you get in, you get comfortable in like the leather seats, and you hear like you adjust yourself, and you're like on the wheel, and you look, and the figure opens a door, sits in the seat, and it just puts his head against the window and falls asleep. Because the condition, he said, you'll sleep when Jasper drives unless he wants you to do something. You know what I mean? So like it's almost like you're sitting there, you look, and all of a sudden he's out right away. There's no like dozing off. You start the vehicle, and you start burning down the roads. The headlights just like are piercing the darkness, and you're almost like feel energized because not only did you heal that wound, not only did you, because you feel like you went from like down to up, right? You know what I mean? Like you did this big thing that was important to you. You felt guilt like afterward for doing it, almost like a feeling of like impulsiveness, and then you like get this pep talk from someone who's been a sword of cane for a while, and now you're on the road, and you got that like exhilarating freedom that that you had with your pack. You know that you're catching up. It's almost like knowing your friends at a bar, and then soon you're going to catch up and get to drink with them and catch up and have fun too. As you're burning down the road, you see this cafe. It's like before you get to the Juarez checkpoint and the bridge that crosses the Rio Grande from El Paso to Juarez, and you see this diner that's like on the side, and you see like you're looking through the windshield, and you see like a hick deputy cop sitting there with a notepad, you know what I mean? And there's this like, and you can see where like there's this ambulance, and like they're taking out this gurney that has like a sheet over it, like there's some body there. And I don't know what you think or whatever, but that's just a tie to the fact that your pack mates, you don't know that, but your pack mates were visiting there. And you see like there's blood. You can kind of see through the big glass window that's on the front. You can kind of see blood that's like on the countertop, you know what I mean, and like on the floor a little bit, which I don't think it would be hard for you to put two and two together and think that maybe your pack stopped by and grabbed something to eat.
They must work on their manners, I'm afraid.
As soon as you talk, you see like the head pop up from like its windshield and slowly like turns around and looks at you like it's waiting for you to give a command for a second.
No, you can rest, sir. I don't need you at the moment.
And then you hear like the head hits the window, you know what I mean, the window of the door, as he's like, you hear a slow like snoring coming out of him. As you're driving, you get to the border checkpoint, and you see like an old border patrol guy, like I said before, an older white guy, as he's like standing there or sitting in the booth, and he looks down at you, and you see like as soon as he sees like white male in a Rolls Royce, he's just like, oh yeah, go ahead and move on. And as he says and moves on and like motions his hand slowly like this across, you follow his hand, and as you see, like you can see like the place, half of it burned down, and you can see like smoke still just a little bit, you know what I mean, because it's been a day, but you know what I mean, you can see like ash, and just like it looks like, for lack of a better term, the Kentucky Club was on a corner of two streets, right? It looks like the two streets that connected the corner like just got like rioted. It looks like LA riots, Watts riots, you know what I mean? It just looks like totally destroyed, torn apart and everything like that. As you keep driving, eventually it becomes like starts, you know it's about dawn in an hour. You switch over on the trunk of the car. The mortal starts driving them. And the next night happens, below blood pool point. You snap back into reality, and you're like curled up, like in this kind of like fetal position in the car, in the trunk, with your face like facing towards where the hood would pop up, and your eyes open. See stars. You just see tons of stars, bright and distinct and just like piercing, and there's thousands of them. And then you see this as you're sitting there, and you seem to be watching the stars. You see the silhouette looking down. It's extending a hand to you to like help you out.
I take it as like, thank you. Now it is my turn, and you can rest,
sir. And he points, and you see him point to like you see you're at like outside of this little, you're on the side of the road, and you're outside of like this little set of like, how do I call them, like shanties that are like a hotel, you know? And you see the dairy truck, and you see Mitch's old pickup truck sitting there. So you see these like little shanty shacks set up, right? And you see Mitch, he's standing there. You see Cora, she's standing there. I think Cora said she put a blanket around herself. Or made a poncho out of a blanket or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, she said that. Didn't she like made a poncho out of a blanket? Yeah. And then you see Richard kind of just standing on the side, and you see this huge figure where basically like pulling this figure out of the back of the dairy truck, pulling out of the back, and like you see like there's like this little like lip that they like little tailgate that comes out to where you can step on the tailgate to get inside. but like the figure just grabs this figure by its feet out to where like the head hits the lip and then it hits the ground, and he starts dragging it, and you realize just from the connection of the pack that it's Coyote, but like from the light of the stars and the half crescent, the half moon, something is like different about Coyote. Like it almost like you can see like a silhouette that is coming from his forehead almost, but you're about 100 yards away, so it's real hard. You know what I mean, for you to kind of see the changes that have occurred to Coyote. So scene's on you.
Okay, so I turned to my driver, basically said, like, you can rest in the car. Stay there.
And he nods his head. He goes in the passenger seat and goes to sleep.
And so I just leave him behind. I'll just walk over to the rest of the groups, going, our reunion is at hand, brothers and sisters.
Howdy, Jasper.
Hello, hello.
I'll just grunt and nod.
Why? It's quite the change.
Beautiful.
I will hold my palms outstretched and say, "What do you think?"
It's unique.
Can I see the car with the driver in it?
Yeah, because you look at where like basically he walked from. Jasper is basically behind Jasper, where he stays standing facing you. Behind him, you see like the road that you guys were on, and then you see expanse of desert, and you see all these like bright fucking nights. Like seriously, the stars are so crisp, and you see the silhouette of the Rolls Royce that's parked along the car. You can't see like there's someone in the car, but you can see like the cars there along the road, like it was pulled over on the side.
Okay, so I'll sniff over. I'll kind of glance over Jasper's shoulder towards the car and say, "Hey, you bought me a snack, huh?"
Don't consume him. He is a useful driver.
Driver? Oh, okay.
So you guys are all standing there. You got the body that Coyote threw in the hotel room. I think you guys said you wanted to clean her up or something like that. Was that the plan? Or I know Mitch wanted Coyote to bring him in there. Did you have any plans, Mitch, for what you wanted to do, or was I think it was to clean up, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, it was.
I think it was.
Okay. So who's going to clean up the body? The girl.
Yeah, I'll do it.
You see the lumbering figure Coyote, and again to remind you of Coyote's looks, he has like the yellowish bone colored horns that like are like jagged coming out of his forehead, and he has like this didn't you make his skin like you made it, because you didn't completely get done, you made his skin like, you didn't change the color, you made his mouth all super wide, like jagged, like his jawline, like his mouth goes from like ear to ear now. He has like elongated jaw that comes out, so it slurs like would you say your voice is normal? It's your call. If you want the voice to be normal, or if you want the voice to be like have a little distinct sound now because of that, or what?
Can I have like when he talks a bit of a hissing coming out the side of his cheeks, maybe a bit drooly sounding, when someone has too much saliva in their mouth?
I'm 100% down for that, man. I like that a lot. I think that'd be even creepier. And you see yes, and you see the skin was kind of like there's bumps and rivets over the skin, but like it's not a finished work yet. You wouldn't know that, Jasper, you know what I mean? Or I guess the rest of you would know talking to Cora, but you wouldn't know that, Jasper. Yeah, but you see him lumbering towards in the room. All right, scene's on us. Let's go. Are you just going to walk in there, or what you going to do? Because you see right now the girl is actually laying on this floor, right? And her eyes and her mouth were flesh crafted shut. So it almost looks like someone took like flesh colored putty and just wrapped it over. You see her laying there on her back, and you see his like dirty blonde hair, that greasy blonde hair that's just like flayed out behind her. She is wearing that white waitress outfit that she had at one point, but you see like feces and other bodily fluids have like, due to her not having any restroom or anything, have kind of like made the dress stain the dress in the lower waist area. The top part of her skirt's kind of been ripped open. You see like this colored flesh of like a late 40s woman whose flesh probably hasn't seen sunlight, and you see the trace of like varicose veins starting like on the upper part of one of her breasts, and you can kind of see like skin spots that are all across the landscape of her upper chest there. And as you look down, you see she has like these ripped nylon pantyhose that are underneath, and only has one cheap like white shoe that she had on. You see there's runs in the pantyhose, and you can see like they're kind of tore, and you also see like similar varicose veins going along where you see the opening like along the side of her thigh and on the side of one of her calves. and you can see the chest rising and falling, but the breathing's like shallow. It's not like a breathing of someone who's like healthy and who's awake or conscious or anything like that. So, scene's on you.
I immediately regret agreeing to clean her up.
I don't know how much cleaning up can be done, to be honest with you, because it's not like you guys have change of clothes or anything like that. You know what I mean? But you can just walk away if you want to. I'm not like, going to be like, if you want XP, you got to clean her up. No, not to that extent. Like, yeah. If you turn around and choose to be like, fuck this, fucking Sabbat.
Right. What are our surroundings again? So we're in the. Is there
There's
like
a bathroom
nearby?
There's a bathroom. Yeah, that's in there. Go ahead. And it has one.
I'll just pick her up and carry her in.
Okay. And it has one of those pulling showers. It doesn't have like running water, but it has like where you pull the string and like the water would shoot out of the spigot because it's tied to like a whatever you call that whole silo of water, that's on the side of this room. So you just put her in the tub and kind of just like pull the string down to get her wet like that.
Is she
You can't tell because her eyes and her mouth are been vicissitude shut. So it's like this weird feeling of like there's this. It's almost like this. In a way, you feel this weird connection with her because it's like she's livestock in a way that almost like, back when you were living in Mexico before you became the douchebag that you were, you had like this grandma who Cora reminded you of. And she used to like raise these chickens. And she told you when you were a kid one time, like, you used to try to get attached to them when you're like 4 or 5. And she used to tell you in Spanish, like, don't get attached to these little chicklets because they're going to become chickens. And you made the mistake one time of becoming attached to one and to where it grew and you would feed it, and then she butchered it one spring, and it really kind of affected you. So after that, every time that you would be with your grandmother, you had this sense of like, and maybe it was even the start, maybe where like the little bug was planted in your head that eventually made you the killer that you were, because she kind of scolded you and punished you and was like she told you not to like feel an attachment to livestock, you know what I mean, and that you learned your lesson, and it maybe scarred you and put that little bug in your head that eventually made you become what you eventually became. Now looking down at this figure, you kind of get that sense, like looking down, like this isn't a person, that this is like livestock, especially with the eyes and mouth being closed. It's almost it can't articulate, it can't beg, it can't plead, it can't deal, it can't do any of that stuff. It's just there, and as the water is running off it, you're looking down and it's just there. Is there
any like towels or anything like that in the room, or is it a bit?
Yeah. There's some. You got some towels there that Mitch had used, and they're semi-dry. You know what I mean?
I'm just gonna rip off all the shit covered clothes and stuff, so that she's naked.
Okay. Being
clean. Right. And I'm actually going to lean in and feed while this is happening.
All right. How much are you going to take?
You can kind of gauge from a mortal how they're doing while you're feeding on them, right? Like how close to death they are.
Yeah, you can.
I won't take heaps.
I'll
take enough. I'll take maybe 2 or 3 blood pool, if I may.
Okay, you can take 2. Yep. What's your blood pool currently at right now?
2, 3, 4, 5, 9. And that's after blowing a blood pool earlier.
Go ahead, you can take 2.
Sure, thank you. I'll while I'm doing that, kind of caress her eye sockets with my thumbs, where the eyes were in the mouth as well, in a creepy fashion.
Okay, like you mean you're like taking your thumbs along her eyes? Is that what you're saying? That are
just gently kind of massaging them.
Okay,
and I'll be singing an old folk song that my grandma would have sung when doing.
Oh wow, that's
stuff with the livestock.
That's that makes sense. Okay, and so are you saying you replaced the dress with the towel? Is that what you're saying, or are you just saying you just took it off and just
when she's done, I'll dry her off and wrap the towel around her and then bundle her up and carry her out again.
Okay. So you see, and you can't move her or anything like that either. You know what I mean? You're just kind of like cleaning, like the body's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like laying there, she's probably in some kind of mental shock now. You know what I mean? Physically he's tired or exhausted. Who knows? You guys see him walking out and he has like this. How do you carry her? Like, do you carry her like a groom over the wedding?
Yeah,
you know,
like that.
Okay.
Just to my 2 arm.
You see him coming out with this figure, guys, and you see like she's not wearing the dress anymore, but she has like towels wrapped around her. You know what I mean? Like her upper and lower body. And you see like she's like flung back and her hair's coming along, and you see him walking out and the hair's wet, and you see him walking out. Go ahead, scene's on you guys.
Where do you want the girl, guys? Where should I put her?
Throw her back in the truck.
Okay, I'll go and gently place her down in the truck.
Is it necessary to keep that?
Could be a snack on the run.
Okay,
She's not exactly going to go anywhere or scream.
I can see that.
Kind of like a road beer, I guess.
And I think it's kind of a telling sign too that you guys see like Coyote treat this like figure with like not compassion, but like I don't want to say caring, but you know what I mean? Like almost like it's a delicate little thing. Because usually he's like throwing people over his shoulder and he's like dragging them through the desert. He just dragged her in there. Like he literally pulled her off of like dragged her in the room. And then now he's like carrying her all gentle and like setting her down back there, you know, like there's some kind of reverence there, you know. All right, scenes on you guys. What's the plan now, Pale Riders Pack?
Jasper, can you tell your driver to drive another car? He seems a bit dim-witted. I don't know. How have you managed to get here with him?
I don't know. He drives me during the day, and so whenever I drive, he sleeps. So I don't know how practical it would be to keep a mortal driving for so long. They still need sleep.
Right. We would be advancing a lot faster if he could drive all of us during the day in this van over there. That was my plan. Then again, as far as I know, the roads will turn worse very soon.
So what do you suggest?
And you guys would be
the rolls here for now, and just take the other more suited vehicles more suited for rough road, or what do you suggest?
I don't think any of our vehicles are suited for rough roads.
Fair point.
We could get horses.
If you truly feel it's necessary.
You guys are right there where it says Torreon, and it's like at the 35H mark, 35 hours there. So you can do two ways now. You can go, you see that yellow road, that path that goes east. You can kind of take that down to the coastline and start traveling down that road to the coastline, you know, which would attract less attention. Or you can go down this way through Mexico City, where I think you guys already decided you didn't want to attract attention, right? You know, you want to go the less conspicuous routes. So these roads might be. Yeah. So you guys are going to cut. You can cut across that yellow road and then hit that gray road. So that yellow road will be a little, you know, bumpy, you know, rough. But once you get to the gray road there, it won't be as bumpy. So does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So if you guys are going to take all three vehicles, that's fine. What's the riding order right now that you guys are going to travel in when you go that way?
I figure we'll do the dairy truck first.
Is anyone going to drive with Richard? I know, Cora, did you want to drive with Richard this time, or did you want to go with Coyote and keep working on your thing, or what did you want to do?
I'll go with Richard. Sure.
You'll go with Richard. What are you going to do, Mitch? You going to drive the pickup truck again?
Yeah.
All right. And Jasper and Coyote. Jasper, are you going to drive the rolls? I guess you're the only one who can drive the rolls. And Coyote, who are you going to roll with?
I'll ride in the back with my new friend. But when I see Richard and Abuela leaving together, I will look at them a little bit sad. Like, you know, my two bros, my two peeps.
Well, if you're gonna ride in the back of the ice cream or in the dairy truck with
the back of the truck
with the girl?
With the girl.
Oh, Mitch.
She's my new.
With the girl.
My new plaything.
Now she's in the back of the dairy truck. So you're gonna it's gonna be pitch black in there. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be able to see anything.
Mm-hmm. I don't need my eyes.
Hello, folks. Have you ever wished you could have an easy way to find gameplay videos and podcasts, or just media in general that deals with your favorite White Wolf role-playing games? Or have you ever wished you could find a forum to share gameplay that you have recorded, one which wouldn't be drowned out by random posts and discussion, so that your media could get the attention you want? Well, we have the answer for you in a Facebook group we run called White Wolf RPGs Gameplay and Media. The group is specifically ran with the sole intent of it being a one-stop shop for people to view or share media involving the games we all love. We take thorough steps to ensure the page does not become cluttered and is easy to traverse. We are currently over 1,000 members strong, and we are continuing to rapidly grow, with new media being shared every day. Stop on by. We hope to see you there. High Level Games, the industry's first choice in taking your games to the next level. We are a podcast blog and new media network at highlevelgames.ca. We have blog posts about all of your favorite games going up 5 days a week, and a podcasting network with actual plays and shows that discuss role-playing games, with more rolling out all the time. We are on iTunes, Twitch, and YouTube. Find out more information at highlevelgames.ca, a site that certainly isn't controlled by a shadowy board of directors of otherworldly origin. That's highlevelgames.ca.
Please, help. They're coming.
The mission seems simple enough, don't they always? Simple sweep and flush out operation. We loaded them up in a hazmat tanker in Montreal and shipped them to a downtown warehouse in the Valley of the Sun. They would have been in and out in a few nights. Well, we wouldn't be telling the story if it all went as planned, would we?
I go ahead and I pop Wyatt in.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna run at him and do a sweet spin kick and knock his head off.
We're waiting to see whether or not the abomination kills us.
Shufflehead Chronicles is available on the Critical Hints feed. Search for Critical Hints in iTunes, Google Play, or any other podcatcher.
I don't think this is how... No.
The Los Angeles metropolitan area is constantly growing and changing. The Central District is full of new buildings. The Hollywood and Wilshire districts, once far from downtown, now are part of a which spreads past Beverly Hills and out to the ocean. But why is all this going on in Los Angeles? Why is Los Angeles an exploding city?
Neon Masquerade.
The Demon's Mirror.
13 Candles.
3 chronicles running through the undead veins of the City of Angels.
The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers Actual Play podcast invites you to drink deeply.
Go to eorpodcast.com and search the duets tag to find out more.
Hi guys, I wanted to let you know about my YouTube channel, the video journals of Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey is a character I play in a live-action vampire game called New England Nightmares, which uses the new By Night Studio rules for Mind's Eye Theatre. The chronicle's set in the city of New Haven, Connecticut, and we run on the third Saturday of every month in Southington, Connecticut. Most of the credit for the stories told in my journals comes from the plots developed by the amazing storytellers who run my game. So the videos on my channel are basically an in-character video logs of the newly sired Ventrue Mike Bailey. They follow him from his days as a naive mortal to his violent embrace during the Anarch Revolt in the City of London, and on to his arrival on the shores of New Haven. The journals show Mike trying to come to terms with his kindred nature, his powerful but impure blood, and his attempts to hide his past from other members of the court of Prince Lucius. So I put out updates every 2 weeks, and I love feedback and questions, so check out my channel, subscribe, and leave me a comment.